Hi, Facebook. Hello. A bit of oil on me while I wait for everyone to jump on. How are you? I hope you're all well. Yes, random live. I had a cancellation this afternoon, so I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump online and share some more tarot love. Hello, Instagram. I thought I'd jump on here as well. So this really is a mini training. So it's a bit unexpected. I hadn't planned this, so not sure who's going to show for this, and I'm pretty happy to just do this anyway. So whilst I wait for a few moments to see if anybody jumps on, I'll just sort of introduce what I'm doing. Hello, everyone on Instagram. Looks like Instagram's got a few people on there. Facebook, someone from Facebook has jumped on. So that wheel on my chest, just a little bit of housekeeping. So I have 2 seats left in, hello, Gabrielle. I have 2 seats left in my 9-month tarot course. And I have now I've continued to extend the early bird price for the last 2 people that sign up. And so this course starts on March the 1st, and it's likely to be the only one that I run this year. And I've got 2 seats left. When you sign up, you will get 3 free gifts. One of them is 2 courses, my Soul Work course, which is an introduction to marketing, sales and marketing, and how to take your business to market, how to take your tarot practice to market and earn money. And then the other course is the Psychic Circle course, which is a psychic development course. That's yours for free, and there's like 9 modules with that as well. I can see makeup on my eye there. Remove that. Anyway, 9 modules there. So plus I'm giving you $200 worth of essential oils, because I have now incorporated aromatherapy into the course. So the course runs for 9 months, and this course entails weekly sessions, 2.5-hour sessions with me, where we do therapeutic training, as well as doing your own spiritual journey work, personal journey work, as well as learning about all of the mythic tarot cards, Jungian psychology, counseling 101, psychotherapy training. You'll also learn dream therapy. You will learn narrative therapy, and now I've introduced aromatherapy. Oh, you signed up, Gabrielle, did you? Let me put the link in here for you. I didn't receive anything saying that you'd signed up, but I'll put the link in here for you now. Let me find it. There it is. Should be a bit more organized, hey? Here we go. I'll put the link in here. There we are. I've got 2 seats left. Yeah, it might have been something different, Gabrielle. Might have been something different. This isn't free. This is my paid course. This is a 9-month training, for intuitive and spiritual entrepreneurs, as well as tarot lovers who want to develop a skill and stand out as a professional in the field. So I'll come back to that now. Come back to that in a minute. So I just want to cover the topic that we were going to discuss today, which was really about how to do accurate readings. Because I think that's the big flaw, hey? People go out there and they want to do readings, and they're scared of being inaccurate. They're scared of getting it wrong. So I'm going to give you some really helpful tips so you don't mess your readings up, right? So you don't mess your readings up, and so you can get clear and accurate on your readings. So we're going to go through the trump cards. I'm going to teach you the trumps today very quickly. Won't take long. I'll teach you the trumps. And then, so before we do that, I just want to explain a few significant key elements that are probably missing from your tarot reads and your tarot therapy sessions or practitioner sessions that are essential for you to have clear readings. So first thing first, you need to set the playground rules for your clients. So whenever somebody comes in for a session with you, for a tarot reading session or a tarot therapy session, you want to make sure that your client knows what to expect. So you need to set the playground rules. Now, quite often when people first start doing tarot or start doing readings or tarot therapy, that you may not have the confidence to go in there and just start doing your readings on your terms. And what happens often is people will come in and they'll tell you, your potential clients will tell you the kind of reading that they want. And it may not be a fit to your style. So the first, yes, it's of course, absolutely, Gabrielle. Stay to listen to this. Stay to listen to this. It'll be amazing, helpful. If you're a tarot enthusiast, stay because you're going to learn heaps. So first thing first, you want to make sure that your clients know your style. So when they come in for a reading, explain how you read and then give them an opportunity to stick around for that or not. So it could be my readings go for 30 minutes. When I read, I pick up things intuitively, as well as perhaps, potentially asking you questions. I do mediumship or I don't do mediumship. I read jewelry or I don't read jewelry. You just get clear on your style of reading and let your client know what they're going to get. Now, by doing so, what that does is it builds trust and an expectancy. So clients know what they're going to get from you. It gives them this sense of safety rather than just showing up and then whatever, just letting it sort of happen in whatever way it does. I think it's a professional way of approaching reading. So that's the first key ingredient to starting an accurate reading. Reason being, you'll be fully aligned to your style of reading and you can relax into your style of reading, which means that your client's likely to get a much better service and a much more accurate reading. The second key is building rapport with your client. Now, if you've got a client that comes in and they're sitting with their arms crossed and they're not open to the reading and they've got you on trial and they want you to sort of read their mind, they're coming in with an expectation, with a false pretense. First of all, no psychic reader, clairvoyant, tarot reader, whatever you want to name it, can read your mind. 100% they cannot read your mind. It's not possible. So the best build rapport with your client to help them relax and to become more open session so they can get the best out of the session is to ask them, what is your intention for today's reading? What is your intention for today's reading? And then let them speak. Actively listen. Listen to what they're asking for. Help them to get clear on what it is that they want from the reading. Now, of course, if you've got basic counselling skills, which is what I teach on my course, you'll be able to do that with some ease. So I usually spend about 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes just counselling with my client, reflecting back content, paraphrasing what they've shared, reflecting back their feelings, summarising what their intentions are, helping them to get clear on what it is that they want from the reading. And by doing so, they're going to get a much better, accurate reading, and you're going to be able to read with clarity, with more accuracy. So this kind of rapport building helps your client to feel understood. And when they feel understood, they're going to feel much more relaxed and more open and more willing to participate in the reading. Because actually, ultimately, any reading that you do for your client is a collaboration. It's not you reading at them. It's a collaborative process. And if you are in the business of just reading at your client and telling them what to do and telling them how to live their life and telling them how to perform their destiny, then you are misguided and you need to check in with your practice because it's unethical. So you want to be including Counselling 101 into your practice where you can. And usually at the beginning is a good place to start. That is a very good place to start. So, yes, inviting a collaborative approach in your reading is wise. Then there's so much more I could talk about on that, but I want to get to the cards too. So the next thing, which is what I'm going to get to now, is to know the journey of the Fool. Now, if you don't know the journey of the Fool, you're going to be missing a very important piece to predictive tarot. Because if you understand the journey of the Fool, you'll realize what it actually mimics is the hero's journey. And the hero's journey is an archetypal psychological experience that we all experience in a lifetime over and over and over again, every time we go through change and transformation, every time we meet challenges in our life. What we participate in is this archetypal patterned journey called the hero's journey. And the Fool mimics that. If we understand the hero's journey, if we understand the Fool's journey, the pattern, the pattern of the cards, if we understand that, then we know what's coming next. Then we can predict. Then we can start making like predictions that are grounded in reality, not pulling shit out of thin air, predictions that are grounded in reality. So the best thing to do if you're going to learn tarot is to understand the journey of the trumps. That is your first key ingredient in learning tarot, is understanding the journey of the trumps, knowing the journey, which card comes after which card. Like, know the steps, and then you'll be able to make very, very accurate predictions for sure. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start, hey? Let's take a journey with the trumps. Shall we do that? That'll be fun. So the first card, of course, the most important card is the Fool. The Fool on the hero's journey. This is you that is everywhere and nowhere. This is you that is everything and nothing. This is like you ready to start a new chapter, the beginnings of a journey, and you're not really clothed in anything yet. You're not really, you haven't really created anything into form yet. It's a bit like the backpacker, right? You're a backpacker and you're sort of aimlessly wandering, trusting your instincts, taking a leap of faith, just like we can see that in the card, taking a leap of faith into a new direction. Okay. The next card, what comes after that? Well, the Fool jumps off the cliff and he lands at the crossroads. So all of that scattered energy, that Fool energy that's everywhere and nowhere, is then brought together with the power of the magician. With his magical wand, he directs you onto a path, onto the crossroads of your life. And this path, this direction, you are given signs and signals and feathers and songs and people cross your path that guide you, that give you clues to where this next adventure is about to begin. So the Fool jumps off the cliff and he's about to start on a new path. And the magician brings all of that energy together and directs it onto a particular path, a new direction. The next card. So once the Fool learns that, you know, he's got to take a leap of faith to start something new, to receive, you know, to experience a new direction, he then has to understand learn about instincts, his body's instincts, divine timing, the organic nature of the seasons of reality, the cosmic connection that we have to the planet. That you can't force growth, you can't rush things, you've got to be patient. It's like a child that's going to be birthed. We need to be patient. You can't force things. You've got to be patient with growth. So this is like the planting of the seeds and the planting of a new idea, and we've got to nurture it to help it to grow. And there is a divine timing with this card. The Fool also learns that he has a body and he has to learn to take care of his body. He's got to look after his body and nurture his body. This is also representative of his relationship with his mother and how his mother has impacted on his life, or the female archetype. Okay, the next card is the Emperor. So, of course, this is father archetype, okay? So he's learning about his relationship with his father, how that impacts on his reality. This card also represents how the Fool then realizes that there are rules and ethics and a civilized society that we have to learn to live in, where we have to pay taxes and make money and build structures, and you know, our values and our ethics start to drive us, that we have an ethical, moral obligation to the society that we live in. And so he's learning about these ethics and also his relationship to money. All right, the next card. Then the Fool, he discovers that he has an internal world. Oh, I dream. There's an inner being. I have a psychic landscape. And he starts to receive insights. Sometimes they're light, sometimes they're dark. Sometimes there's psychic intuition about great things, and sometimes it's psychic intuition about warnings. Be careful. This card is about the Fool developing his connection to his inner self and his psychic landscape, and building rapport with his inner being. He realizes there is a dark reality that exists within him, an inner reality. The next card, he discovers that he's been guided by something greater than himself. Whatever this spiritual connection is, you'll come to your own understanding of that. He discovers that he's guided by something greater. Maybe it's God, maybe it's Source, maybe it's the goddess. I don't know, whatever, however you want to name it. This is his connection to spirituality, but not following any religious dogma. This is his own unique connection to spirit and how spirit moves through him. This card also represents Chiron, the wounded healer, that he has been wounded by his childhood. He starts to realize that, that he has hurts, weeping wounds that need his loving attention, that do guide him on his path. In this card, we can see his soul contract as well. He realizes that he has a purpose, and part of that is to work and heal these wounds. The next card, he starts to mature. This is him moving into adolescence, moving into adolescence. The Lover's card, he's learning about his choices and the consequences of his choices. He's learning about his childhood, how his childhood has impacted on his relationships and his choice of relationships. Some are positive, some are not so positive. The way he's playing out his unmet childhood needs on his relationships, how he might be looking to the other to heal these unmet needs. He's looking to the other to discover more of himself. So this card doesn't necessarily predict, the life-giving soulmate relationship. What it does predict, though, is that we all learn from the discomfort and the conflicts that we discover in relationship. This is the card of choices. This means there are many relationships that you can have in a lifetime, long-term and short-term. Okay, the Fool starts to mature and he moves beyond that. He starts to realize that he has, he's been driven by something greater than himself, yes, but he has to control his urges. That we can't just go and, well, you could, but I wouldn't advise you to just go and have an affair with the married man or the married woman. That we have an obligation to ourselves to make mature decisions. And that, yes, we do feel called to something, willed by something greater than ourselves. But we have to learn how to control our urges and to control our instincts, to balance our instincts with the consciousness of our mind, balancing the unconscious with the conscious, balancing the unconscious drives with the conscious awareness. It's a very powerful card, and this might be you could even see this as a very tantric card. This card is the carrier of experiences, that we're here to have experiences and to learn how to balance the unconscious and the conscious mind. The next card, the Fool then learns. He learns that he has an intellect and that he can, there's a genius zone there, that he has a mind, and he's learning about the dualities of life, right and wrong, and he has to learn discernment. He has to learn how to discern right from wrong. He discovers that life isn't always fair, that, life wasn't meant to be easy, or life wasn't always fair, that there are injustices in life, and that we can also sin and be guilty as we can be innocent. We are both. So he's learning about the dualities of life, and he's learning discernment. This is the card of learning how to use your mind to make balanced decisions, the balance of the mind and the heart. We can see that with the scales there. The next card, he learns that he's a feeling being. He feels, he has a heart, and he's emotional, and he can feel things. And he has a somatic world, and he also is consciously aware that he has a guardian angel. This is his connection to his guardian angel. But this is also the lesson of learning how to forgive yourself and how to forgive others, how to have mercy on yourself and mercy on others. The next card, the Fool, then starts to develop a sense of identity. This is me, myself, and I. This is who you are in the world. This is who I am in the world. These are my boundaries. These are my boundaries. This is the card of anger and of rage and those feelings, the big reactions, those big feelings that come up in life that are causing us, that are trying to signal to us that there's been a boundary violation. So this card represents where we need to say no. It also represents the discomfort that comes up when we're not honoring ourselves, those big emotions that erupt when we've been ignoring our feelings. Yes, this card is very much about anger for sure and rage, but the way in which that comes up, the reason why it comes up, and it's usually because we've either transgressed our own boundaries or we've allowed somebody else to violate our boundaries. The next card that we've got, the Fool, then from the after he just says, no, I've had enough, no more, he then starts to assess his life. This is the card of personal reflection. This is the card of self-reflection. And he's starting to think about his circumstances. Is this the relationship I want? Is this the life I want? Is this the job I really want to be living? Am I really being who I am? I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And am I really truly living the life that I want to lead? Am I listening to myself? Am I being true to myself? This is the card of the existential crisis. And it's a reality check. This is the reality check card. Am I really living in true to who I am? And usually this card will come up. It'll come up when we're about to make a big decision that's going to be a life-changing decision. But we all need that personal reflection time to reflect on that and to make sense of our situation first before we take any huge action. The next card, the Fool, then experiences crisis. This is the crisis card. And so in this crisis moment, the wheel will either turn to good or not so good. Sometimes we're the one that turns the wheel, but this is that moment when the course of our destiny is about to shift significantly. There's a big shift. Something is happening that causes us from the self-reflection to creating this crisis. Perhaps the ex, your boyfriend or your girlfriend leaves their phone on the table. And you look over and there's a text message that's open. And the text message is from some secret lover. This is the kind of energy of the Wheel of Fortune. It can be something like that. It's a crisis moment where it changes the course of your destiny. Of course, now it doesn't have to be negative, but that's one example of a crisis moment where you're caused, there's a change, the wheel's about to turn. So after the wheel is turned, then we're called to make a great sacrifice. What is the sacrifice that you need to make? What is it that you are called to do that you know is going to create significant transformation? And of course, Prometheus, he's hanging in suspension. He's moving from consciousness to unconsciousness. I know what I need to do. I've got to end the relationship, but actually I'm not going to do that right now. I know what I need to do to end the relationship, but I'm not going to do that right now. So it kind of swings from consciousness to unconsciousness. And yeah, it is the card of suffering for sure. This is like when you have had to make a big decision and you know it's going to impact on everybody around you, but it's got to be done. It must be done. And you have to step in powerfully into your leadership. The next card, what comes after that? Death, the finality, the decision's been made. The finality is here. And this card is definitely about grief and loss and the endings and finalities. We cannot avoid death. We come from a long line of dead people, and we're all going to die at some point in our life. And this card does represent, yes, it can represent loved ones who have passed over that are trying to make contact. It can represent, of course, you going through significant change and ending relationships, jobs, moving country, losing friends, ending friendships, and the literal death, people dying in our lives, losing our loved ones. But this card is very platonic in nature. This is the beginnings of transformation, and where you might feel completely disempowered, but to find your power, you have to go through this difficult, horrible time. So what comes after that? So the Fool gets pulled down into Hades' realm, into the dark realm. And as he faces the finalities of his life, he starts to see himself in a darker light. And he starts to see these rejected parts of himself. He's then forced to look at his darker aspects. This is the shadow aspect of our reality. He's looking at habits, habitual patterns of behavior that have been holding him back, addictions, looking at ways he's used his material reality to fill his cup instead of working on his inner self and finding self-worth outside of that. This card can be about trauma, sexual trauma, physical trauma. The Fool is really facing these aspects of himself that he may have rejected or might be painful. And this is the uncovering of these painful secrets. Once the Fool has done that, he then has this the truth is out. The tower falls. He has these awakenings. This card also relates to Uranus in astrology, and this is the lightning strikes. This is you have outgrown your current circumstances. The Fool has now outgrown his reality. Oh, for God's sake, who's this woman saying I hate you? What is wrong with these people? Honestly, Christ, I don't care enough to hate you, whoever you are. God. Anyway, so the Tower card, it represents the outgrowth of the situations that we find ourselves in. The masks are off. No more facades. Once you face these darker aspects of yourself, you can see who you truly are. You've embraced more of you. You've embraced some of these beautiful, beautiful aspects of yourself that you've rejected. Not all things in this dark place are horrible. There are beautiful aspects of ourselves that we haven't fully embraced. And so this is the card of, yes, life is falling apart. It might feel like everything is dissolving, but it can be, now your life can be grounded in truth, in the truth of your being. So the next card that comes up is the Star, and the Star is where we find hope again. This is the card of the naked truth. You now know who you really are. You can feel into your cosmic connection now that you've done some of this inner work and you've finally released a life that is no longer for your highest good. You've faced the darker aspects of yourself and you've taken off the mask. Sometimes I think of this card as the card of the naked truth. So the Fool is finding himself. This is you. You are the Fool. You are finding yourself and you're remembering. This is the pool of remembering. You're remembering who you are, and you know you're being guided by something beautiful, something cosmic inside of you. And that's Temperance. We remember I talked about the guardian angel. Well, she is this card here. Where is she? Let me find her. That I've gone through all the cards. There she is. This is Temperance, your connection to your guardian angel. So she comes to you in times of need when you feel like you've lost everything, to remind you to stay hopeful and to trust in the inner light that's guiding you. The next card, okay, the Sacred Transition. This is what happens when we move from one life to a new one. We sit in the meantime, where it hasn't quite kind of ended, but it hasn't quite begun, and we're in this meantime space, and it's like being a caterpillar in the chrysalis, and it is anxiety provoking. This is that moment when we just want it to happen now. Where is the new relationship? Where is the new beginning? Where is the new house? Where is the new career? Where is this job? Why hasn't it arrived yet? This is like being in the waiting room, and it is an anxiety provoking card, and we have to learn to be patient with ourselves as we integrate all the growth and the transformation that has happened as we journeyed through the earlier cards. Now, the next card. Oh, look at that. The green light. Hooray. This is the light is shining on your path. Any depression and sadness and discomfort that you felt in the moon has now been dissolved, and this is your green light. You have clarity now. This is the forward motion, the clarity to know your next step. You know what you need to do. You know where the next path is likely to lead you. You know what's coming next. This is your yes card, and it is about mental clarity. It is definitely about tapping into the inner child and finding that joy again after difficult times. The next card, yes, this is the Cutting Ties to the Past. This is a very karmic card. This is putting closure. This is about putting closure on the past, integrating what you've learned, integrating the lessons, having the emotional resilience now and the psychological resilience to be able to face the past, to put closure on it, to finally cut ties. It is a healing card. You do have to go and face yourself again, but this time it's about facing what you've sown and what you're reaping. And it's always good, and not always, it's a bit of both, good and bad, but we learn from it. You're summarizing, you're sort of looking at the ways in which you may have contributed to where you find yourself now, and there's great learning in this card. The next card, this is a good one. This is the World. This is the self-actualization. These are the self-realizations. This is you having evolved from this difficult, challenging journey that you've been on. You're now on the other side of it. You now have these self-realizations. You now have this insight into who you are and what you've learned. and you know more of who you are. This is individuation. This is you peeling away some of the conditioning and having this sense of identity or strong sense of self, authentic self. This is who I am in the world. But you can't get to that point until you go through that entire journey, hey, the fool's journey, the hero's journey. So that's the journey of the fool. And of course, what comes after the world card? Oh, we come back again, back to the new chapter, a new journey again. Yeah, so this is a really important tool. If you understand the journey of the trumps, if you understand the order of the trumps, then you can make predictions based on which trump cards have come up, knowing what their next psychological step will be, what's coming next. So, for example, let's just say the Hanged Man comes up in a reading for your client. You will know, if you know the order of the cards, that death, this precipitates the death card. So we know that this person is going to have to make a big decision that's likely to create significant transformation and finalities, the ending of something that no longer serves them, or that will evolve who they are, that will evolve their situation. For example, so I hope you enjoyed that. I am running my 9-month course. I've only got 2 seats left. You are going to learn all the psychology of the Mythic Tarot, plus how to apply the Mythic Tarot psychotherapeutically in readings with people. So you're not just talking at people, so that you can actually contribute and help others become the change agents of their life to make positive, life-giving changes in the lives of others, and also to come in with ethical and professional practices. So what you get on the course is 9 months with you and me and a group of incredible women. You will learn Jungian psychology, tarot therapy, tarot psychology. You will learn counseling 101. You will learn psychotherapy. You will learn dream therapy. You're also going to learn narrative therapy. And my latest edition is aromatherapy, how to support your clients emotionally whilst they're having sessions with you with the oils, because they are amazing. So it's not a doTERRA training, it's an aromatherapy component to the course. And I'm gifting you $200 worth of oils for free in the course as well. So what does it look like? Well, you're going to meet with me for 2.5 hours per week. Plus there's what is called Member Vault. So Member Vault is a storage unit where I have all of your course material in there, all of the modules. There's 8 modules in there of course material that you get to keep throughout the course forever. That's your course content. And the course content, you can read it, you can listen to it, you can download it, you can watch it. So there are all these different ways of consuming the content. So you consume the content in whatever way works for you. And yeah, so the course starts next week. You will be doing your own personal journey work. As ethical and professional tarot therapists, you do need to do your own personal work. You've got to be able to look at your own stuff. You can only reach people to the level of depth that you've been inside of yourself. And that's a great start. If you can do your own personal work, it is a great start to be able to read for people with depth and clarity and to understand the psychological journeys of the cards. So it's a great course. If you'd like to join, I've only got 2 seats left. The link is above. If you've got any questions and you want to talk to me about it, message me. You're also going to get Soul Work, which is my business coaching package, for free. You're also going to get my psychic development program, where there's like 9 modules in that, for free. You're also going to get my doTERRA package, the aromatherapy package. It's worth $200 for free. And you're also going to get the early bird price. I've extended that for you. So you save $774 on the total price of the course as well. That's massive. That's massive. If you want to upgrade your practice and you want to become a professional tarot therapist and you want to be taken seriously, like I am, and have regular clients, I encourage you to jump in and jump on board and become part of our team. Anyway, I'm sending you all the love. I hope you enjoyed this live. Have a fabulous week, and I'll speak to you later. Bye, everyone. Take care.